Hi everybody, apologies I can't be with you in person today, but Alan and I had this conversation last week that I wanted to share with you.
Thanks, Paul, and I'm super excited that you can join us by video. We've been lucky enough to work with Paul for a little while and with Mars, so it's great to get Paul's insight to share with the rest of you. So Paul, I know Mars has worked on supplier relationship management and supplier management for a while. Working with your suppliers isn't new. Getting a return on your relationships is not really a new concept for you. And the way Mars implements projects is not that new. So what's different this time round while you're looking to refresh your supplier management?
I think we looked, because you're right, we've done this in the past, and we looked at what was working and what wasn't working. And when we looked at the 10 or 12 key relationships that we were trying to move forwards, we probably succeeded in maybe one or two. And I think one of our first realizations is, one of the metrics we'd looked at, we're looking at our larger suppliers when it comes to spend, and we hadn't made a distinction between those that were really truly strategic and lining up with what we needed at Mars versus those that were really important because they supplied a lot of materials and we had a big spend. And I think that distinction has actually allowed us to be much more choiceful in terms of who are the really strategic partners we want to work with, and also respecting who are the important suppliers that still need a different level of relationship, but it won't have the same relationship as the truly strategic ones who are going to be fully integrated into our business.
Fantastic. So, really highlighting the importance of that segmentation and getting treatment strategies right. So let's look at that and kind of in terms of behaviours. What have you noticed about kind of behaviours that you've seen whilst you're doing that, and especially with your suppliers?
I think one of the key unlocks for us is right at the very beginning. We sat down and had a very, very candid conversation, and kind of say, hey, look, this is what's working for me, this is what isn't working for me, and the supplier said exactly the same. Now we call this the anti-watermelon culture, because the bit that's working, which is all green and rosy, and we like to talk a lot about that, and the bit inside, which is red, which isn't working, actually is the juiciest part. Because if you can understand what isn't working for them and then what isn't working for us, you can then see which areas you want to address. And once you do that, that really gives you a platform to move the relationship forward. So that's been our key unlock, I would say, the biggest behaviour change.
Fantastic. And we discussed earlier in the year about your Mars Procurement 2030, and very interesting discussion. But from your perspective, what are some of the key themes from your plan, without clearly giving too much away? But
Sure.
but yeah, key themes would be great.
Well, our biggest takeaway is we have no clue what 2030 is going to look like. If you go back 6 years to 2018, we would not predicted the world that we're living in today. So 2030, we don't know. I think the three things that really came out strongly is an organisation set up which has got agility built in, so we can be adaptable to whatever comes at us. I think we need to be digitally smart. Now, a lot of people get excited about digital and tools and the bits and pieces, but it's not about that. For me, it's more about the data, and there's a lot of data out there now. It's, who can use that data, who can be smart to anticipate either risks in your supply chain or opportunities in the marketplace for growth, for innovation, and using the digital tools to give you those insights. And then the final one, which is what today is a lot about, is, and I'm coining your phrase, Alan, the extended enterprise, which really is this notion that, we've got a beautiful business, but actually when you put this extended enterprise network of suppliers and innovation capabilities and possibilities in terms of supply, in terms of collaboration, both within our network but also with universities and other bits and pieces, I think it gets very exciting. And I think that those three things, so the extended enterprise, what we're doing around digital and being smart around that, and making sure you've got the organisation agility built in to adapt to whatever the world wants to throw at us.
And it puts us in procurement in a very exciting place, embracing
Absolutely.
those three things. Thank you for that. So some tips for our audience, Paul. What are your top 3 tips?
I think the first one is, for this to be a success, you've got to engage your business stakeholders. And to do that, we've got to change the dialogue away from productivity. It is about value creation. It is about quality. It's going to be about resilience, and it's going to be about innovation or other sources of value. So it really is that. I think the second one, that now I've said that, productivity and competitivity is table stakes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not going to go away, and the suppliers understand that. But on top of that, it's all the things I spoke about before. And I think the third one is really, as we go forwards, we're going to start looking at, non-traditional sources of value. With the way the world is changing through climate, etc., there's going to be more weather extremes. So there's going to be some benefits on access to materials. There's going to be some benefits on looking at alternate materials, and that's for all industries, not just for the ones that I'm operating in. And I think these are the things that as you build those relationships, you're going to have more chance of getting, the ideation, the availability, or even identifying the risks together, and then you can do something about it.
Completely agree. No, that's great. Thanks, Paul, and wishing you every success. I know your wife's not well, so all the best for her
Thank you very much.
recovery, and we'll see you at next year's summit, of course.
You bet. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Cool.